What's up, my Fina Left? It's Miss Fina D coming to you all from Vienna Entertainment News.
Hey, so the People magazine wrote Kenya Moore will be twirling on her own. People can exclusively reveal the Real Housewife of Atlanta star and her husband Marc Daly have split a little over 2 years after saying their I do's. Moore, 48, and Daly, 49, have been married since June 2017 when they tied a knot in a romantic sunset ceremony on St. Lucia Beach. Well, Kenya Moore's statement: "It is with profound sadness that I regret to inform my fans that I am divorcing my husband Marc Daly. Due to recent and ongoing circumstances, I can no longer continue in the marriage. My sole concern and focus is and will always be my daughter, Brooklyn, my miracle baby. She was made in love and true commitment. I ask for our privacy to be respected moving forward." Okay. Kenya Moore used the word divorcing. However, Marc Daly used separate. "I have come to the difficult decision to separate from Kenya at this time. Our daughter," she said mine, he said our daughter, "has two parents that love her very much in her best interest. This situation should remain as private as possible. I cherish our family's good times together and will continue to co-parent in a loving way." Marc Daly said, don't play with him now, because he's gonna be suing everybody. Basically talking about false accusations only serve to hurt our family, will be addressed through counsel as the law permits. Oh, y'all be careful now, y'all doing all these posts about he cheated, he got a separate family, he was hiding his kids. He was hiding his kids, child, and hiding his ex-wife. Like, who needs to hide their ex-wife? She's an ex-wife for a reason. So why would she be a threat to hide? Please respect our privacy during this challenging period. Okay? So that's Kenya and Marc's statement.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Oh, look at our adorable Brooklyn. She is so innocent. She has no clue what's going on around her right now. Now, if reconciliation happens, in a few months, then Brooklyn won't remember anything because she's not even one yet. But if they do decide to finalize and go through the entire process, I'm sure Brooklyn will be just fine because she have two amazing parents that love her so much. So Kenya Moore's best friend, let's just go ahead and call him family at this point, her brother, Brandon, released a statement via Instagram. He posted this beautiful picture of them, and he wrote, "She's my love, she's my sibling, you are the most amazing mother and dynamite woman. I love you and my brilliant niece, Brooklyn, beyond words. She is the divine proof, that God is always in control and will continue to be. I love you, and I know I'm proud to call you my sister. I'm proud to see you reclaim what is promised to you by God. I am very proud of you. Love, baby, brother, Brandon." Okay? Now, I have received all of the messages. A lot of you, are sending me, "Did you hear this rumor? Did you hear that rumor? Did you hear this rumor?" And I've always maintained in videos and in my responses to everyone, Kenya Moore is very open. And if something bad is going on in her marriage, she would tell us. And I've always said that. And I said so until Kenya Moore released a statement that she's ending her marriage or her husband and soon to be ex-husband, if they don't work it out, release a statement, I will continue to support them. I will continue to be there for them. I will continue to celebrate their love. Well, they released statements. Now, I have been receiving also messages that it's not about drama, but is Kenya okay? I'm praying for Kenya. Is Kenya okay? And one of the responses that I sent to someone was one of the amazing blessings in disguise that Kenya received from her mother's rejection was strength. She will be just fine. The message was her haters are having a field day. So sad for her. I responded, one of the most amazing things about Kenya, which is one of the many reasons why I support her. She's never been about seeking validation or living her life for people's approval. She's not fake and always walks in her truth. Others would have stayed to impress their haters, but if something serious happened, I commend her and admire her strength to walk away. Haters or not, she's an incredible woman and very strong. Kenya could stay married for 30 years and they will still be hating on walkers. When people hate you, it doesn't matter what you do, there will always be something. Also, we've heard over and over again that Kenya Moore was never married, that there's no marriage license, that marriage was fake and all of that. But the same people, and just in general, that reported that she was never married and it's fake are the same ones reporting that she's getting a divorce. How can someone legally file for divorce from someone else if they were never married in the first place? Further proving my point about people lying on her, and just because they're haters, they couldn't be happy that she was married, so they created that her marriage wasn't real. But then are the same people excited because she's getting a divorce? But I thought you said she was never married, so that means her marriage was real, right? She, you know what I'm saying? So my thing is, when I say walkers, I'm talking about that's how old some people will be and still coming for this woman. So it doesn't matter what you do. When people just don't like you, they will find every problem and everything to come against you. So don't focus on that. If you support Kenya Moore, just focus on the positive. Another thing that I do want to say is, listen, I will always keep the same energy. That will never change. Marc Daly is forever the father of Brooklyn. So you will never hear me on this channel or anywhere bashing Marc. I'm already seeing it. You can't go from saying you support Kenya to a few days ago when they were on Tamara Hall. Oh my God, he's such an amazing dad, an amazing husband. You know, he doesn't like the spotlight. We get it. So now calling him every name in the book. I'm not going to get involved in that. Whatever developments that happen, because you know there's going to be all these different theories that come out. But whatever information that come out and from her, whenever Kenya Moore, make an actual statement, be it on camera, on the show, whatever the case might be, even if she was to reveal that Marc did something to her, I will still come on here, give my review for what she had to say, make my point. You guys know that already. Make my point without being dirty. You guys know I don't do that. If I say what I have to say and I move on, so I'm not ever going to jump on a let's bash Marc Daly now that he and Kenya are no longer together. Also, guys, remember that these are statements. No one went to court and legally filed anything yet. Remember, these are just statements, that Kenya and Marc released. When I see the information that Kenya actually went to court and filed, when I see that Kenya and Marc both signed on the dotted line to finalize their divorce, and when I see Kenya move on and start dating other people, like, oh yeah, it's really done. Like she move on, then all hope and all bets are off. But these two can reconcile. There's always room for reconciliation. There's always room for, oh my gosh, he came back, he begged, we got back together, and now guess what? Bravo is going to get
the TV wedding special that they wanted all along. Kenya and Marc reconciled. Let's go ahead and give them a TV special of a vow renewal. Kenya always said that they got married privately, and she was planning to have a bigger wedding where all of her friends and family, his friends and family, could come to and celebrate their love. So all hope is not gone. Now, depending on what happens, okay? If it's based off a silly argument and of things that have been building up over time, then there's always a possibility of reconciliation. Child, we've had people on that show went through an entire divorce for a check, okay? I'm not saying Kenya is going to do that. I'm just saying we have someone on that show that went through an entire divorce, okay? Went through that fake relationship with that guy, all right? And then turned around and got a wedding special, a check, and married their husband again, okay? We also had another couple that did this whole storyline about they broke up, he cheated, and the blogs went crazy, and every other week reported about her and the guy. And I kept saying, listen, they still have time. Go back and listen to my videos. I kept saying they still have time. Before everything ends, they will come back together and they will still get the wedding that they've been planning. I was right. They're back together. They're smiling pictures right now. Everything looks great. And I heard allegedly they already got married. Okay? And so we shall see. So anything is possible. On my day one, those of you who's been coming here, you always know that I love giving examples. So I always drag these other girls into videos, even if the video is not about them. For those of you who are new and clicking on here, I'm just saying that because I already know it's going to be okay. Kenya is the one going through issues. Why are you talking about other people's issues? I always give examples. I'm very detail oriented. So let me just say that and let's continue.
She's never ever stayed in something just to prove, look at me, I'm doing it, I'm in this. Whenever she feels like, you know what, this is no longer right for me, it's not about my hater is going to laugh at me, what people are going to say. I admire her for that. I admire her strength. Another thing, that Marc Daly is the father of our adorable Brooklyn. Just a few days ago, I was praising them. I will never ever be that type of person just because Kenya announced that she's divorcing and Marc announced that he is separating from Kenya. Does not mean I'm going to come on here and bash him. Does not mean my tone is going to change. My hope is, no matter how deep this situation is that led Kenya and Marc to make this abrupt decision, because they were just smiling a few days ago, okay? Now, some of you might say, oh, body language and all of these things. There are people that behave like Kenya and Marc. One person don't want to be, all out there. I know people like that personally, and they've been married for over 30 years. So I don't look at that and be like, oh yeah, their marriage is doomed. No, that's just some people that, that's not me. My wife or my husband is the loud one. I'm the chill one. But it doesn't mean that's a sign for divorce, right? So I'm going to address all of the rumors, okay? And then we're just going to have a nice conversation. That's what this is. Just a nice conversation about everything that's going on, because a lot of you are like, Vina, we don't even care what you say. We just want to hear your voice at this point. And that's the nervous laugh, because there's nothing funny about this situation. But so the first one is Kenya Moore is divorcing Marc Daly because she found out about his secret ex-wife and children. All right, so this is my thing. I'm not saying anybody is wrong, okay? Listen, everyone do your thing. Just how I'm not expecting people to come from my video and say I'm wrong. I'm not saying anyone is wrong. I stay in my positive box, and I'm going to keep it that way. So I'm just having a conversation, so don't come for me, okay? Um, I'm not even going to say unless I send for you because I don't even have the energy to respond to negativity. So, anyways, yes, if you're not married to someone and you're single, then what's the need to hide an ex-wife? So that part didn't make secret ex-wife. That part didn't make any sense to me. Now,
Go to this image right here when Kenya posted our first Christmas, okay? You will see that she has some Christmas stockings hanging up, and you see Mark, okay, the M, you see Kenya, this is before Brooklyn, and then you see Jay. Okay, now Jay could be the cousin down the road, the cameraman, somebody's BFF, or Jay could be Marc Daly's son. Now, if you go to these pictures right here as well on her page, you will see that they all went bowling. If you look at the name on the screen, you see Jay Daly, you see Kenya Daly, and you see Marc Daly. He was also there. I know Brooklyn is a baby, but that's all Brooklyn right here. The back of his head and his hair texture, that's all Brooklyn right there, okay? So it clearly shows that Kenya was hanging out with Marc Daly's son. Now, whether he have 2 more other children, 3, 10, whatever the case might be, I'm just saying that Kenya Moore was and is aware that Brooklyn Doris Daly is not his first and only child. So I'm not coming for anybody and say, hiding ex-wife. Kenya might come on TV and say, yes, he was hiding something. I'm just saying, as it relates to a kid been around Kenya Moore and Marc Daly, and that kid looks like Marc Daly's son. The other thing that I'm going to say is, when she's been in interview, when it's you and your husband first child together, there's nothing to hide. You said, oh, you know what? Another thing that make us so compatible is the fact that this will be my first child, and this will also be his first child. You don't say, we're not going to talk about that when they ask you, does your husband have other kids? That's always been Kenya Moore's answer. He didn't choose this life, so anything to do with his family history, we are going to keep out of the public. And then I remember that on Wendy Williams' interview, she said that. And Wendy responded, that's a yes. And we don't need Wendy to confirm anything. I'm just saying, when something that simple is not something you hide, regardless if you are someone who loves to keep people guessing and twist things around. If it's your husband's first child, if he doesn't have kids, you would say, my husband don't have no kids and I don't have no kids, so it would be amazing for us to have a child together. If you also read the articles that other people and People magazine posted as it relates to Kenya Moore giving birth, it read, this is Kenya Moore and Marc Daly first child together. Pay attention to the wording. It is true. It's her first child with Marc Daly. It did not read that this is Marc Daly only child. It says this is Kenya Moore and Marc Daly first child together. This is the couple first child together. Okay, so there's no secret kid. Now, like I said, there is a kid who's been hanging with them. Now, if Kenya Moore come on TV and say he had 2 more I didn't know about, then we will we'll talk about it. But I'm just saying, as it relates to children, there's no secret there. Kenya is aware that Marc Daly have children. So I'm just going to wait for the show and listen and witness everything unfold.
Wondering, this is what Kenya looked like for the event that you see on the side of the screen that she was advertising that she hosted with her husband Marc Daly. That another rumor came from that Kenya and Marc, they were at the event, they looked happy, they were smiling, everything was good. And then something happened. Kenya allegedly confronted Marc and a camera was rolling. He got upset, went and started talking to Eva, Marcel's husband, about it. Milo overheard it and went and told Nene. and the other girls, and Kenya got upset because she overheard Milo talking about it. It's all middle school, high school, he said, she said, whatever. So Kenya then goes over to Mark and basically said, why would you explain our personal situation to anybody, especially knowing how, these girls treat me in this group, excluding Candy and Cynthia. But she was just expressing herself to him, and according to whatever, which I don't believe, but we shall see. Okay.
This video was an hour long, okay, but I'm gonna try to end it here and have a part 2. But Marc Daly basically allegedly then screamed at his wife and said that she was an attention, a word that rhymed with slur, okay, in front of everybody. And then things just went left from there. And then after that, she made the abrupt decision and the announcement and all of that. I'm gonna wait to see, okay, because we've heard all types of things so far, so I'll wait to see that. But when people make abrupt decision, it means that it's a build up. Who knows how many times they've been arguing, who knows how hectic it's been in their relationship from either side, and then it just took that one situation to make her say, you know what, no more, I'm not gonna take the screaming, the disrespect, no more, have a nice life. It takes a lot of things, but we shall see. So that's another rumor that's going around. Now you also have people coming for Kenya and saying that she chose Bravo check over her marriage, which to me, I think that is so wrong to even say that to Kenya, because let's just remember that in as much as Kenya been in Hollywood for a long time, let's not sit here in front. There are only a few people that matches her complexion who are in rotation as it relates to acting. Hollywood is not calling like that. If Hollywood was calling like that, Lisa Rinna, Denise Richards, now you have, I'm going to call her Fancy from Jimmy Fox show. Now you have Fancy being the first African American woman, okay, on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. My point is, and now if you even go to the OWN network, you see all of these reality TV shows from Family. Hollywood is not calling anymore. We don't have a seat at the table, so people are creating their own tables. Reality TV is the new normal, so that's where people are coming. Candy is a legend. She's been in the game for a long time, but she did not have all of the businesses that she have now before the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's been able to use the Real Housewives of Atlanta to branch out into other avenues, okay? Even though she still reaches on there, she still uses the show because being on the show equals, publicity, still relevant, and all of those things. Now, I said I was wishing for Kenya to just find a nice acting gig and just focus on her family because the show is toxic. However, as you can see, even when Hollywood calls, the actress who she respects go on TV shows and tell lies about her. So she can't even win. So then why should she give up millions of dollars, sell her home that she bought cash, worked so hard to build and create a comfortable life for herself? Why should she then give up her home, sell her home, okay? Give up her job to be with her husband, which is great, right? That's her husband. But her job is in Georgia. Both of them knew this before they got married. You don't see her telling him to close down his restaurant and quit and move to Georgia. That would be selfish of her, because the same way how she respects that Mark have a restaurant that's been doing well for years and he's planted over there in Brooklyn, that's the same way how he needs to respect that she's been in TV and movies and things for years and she's doing her thing in Atlanta. Listen, whenever they're not filming, she gets on the plane and she's in New York all the time. They live together. And when he, have a little break from the restaurant, he comes to Atlanta. But I just think that is so selfish for all of the women, even some of Team Twirl members, to send me messages about, did you see Kenya chose Real Housewives over her husband?
Why should she quit everything she worked so hard for? She doesn't have a grandmother who she looked up to as her mother anymore. Aunt Lori lived in a different place. Brandon lived somewhere else. Her cousin lived somewhere else, have her own life. She does not have a decent relationship with her dad. Yes, you get married, you hope for forever, but you guys want her to just completely let go of her entire life and one of the biggest income that she have right now, husband. God forbid something happens now. She don't have a house, she doesn't have a job, and she have to start over. Absolutely, More Hair Care is doing well. But the same way how More Hair Care is doing well, there's nothing wrong with having multiple streams of income. So I don't agree with that part, okay? Eventually, they were going to figure it out. But if that's what works for them right now, then all it took was compromise and sacrifice. Yes, Kenya could have rented out her house. Kenya could have talked to Bravo to see if they were black women to the cast, in New York. Whatever right now is the Atlanta franchise that's calling. And after giving up millions of dollars, no wedding special, all of that to honor her husband and privacy and all of that. And also, Brooklyn is here and healthy and all of that. And Kenya is like, I'm not doing that. I'm not losing another penny. Lastly, if the man acts that way when his wife put just her cell phone camera in his face, do you guys really think he will be able to sit there and carry an entire show based on his family? No, I've also seen those suggestions. She could have left the housewife and gotten her own show because Mark said the housewife, Mark don't even want to be on the cell phone. You really think he's going to be okay with people all in his house, all through, with cameras and stuff? Absolutely not. So, and also too, the reality show is actually better for people who want privacy, the group shows, than a family show. Because at least by the time Kenya get done, arguing with Tanya, Eva, Marlo, and Nene having issues with her, she don't carry the whole season. That even if they see Marc Daly face for 1 or 2 episodes, they're good because she already brought up drama the entire season, and her husband doesn't even need to be involved. Compared to when you have your own show, you have to carry your own show, so that means you have to be deeply involved. So having their own show wouldn't have worked as well. Now, the reason why the title, you're talking about vow renewal and reconciliation and possibilities, that's my hope. My hope is if things are not to the point where someone move on and someone didn't know, then my hope is they will miss each other. They will realize how important it is and their love, and realize this moment she was just calling him the love of her life, and whatever the case might be, that they will realize and remember the importance of their marriage, and they will get back to loving each other, and a reconciliation, and eventually the reconciliation and the vow renewal on TV, and everyone will live happily ever after. However, if the opposite happens, I'm still wishing Kenya absolutely nothing but the best. I'm not down. I'm not heartbroken. Reason being, as much as Kenya Moore is a human being, I'm sure she's going to cry. She's going to break down. She's going to have her moments. That woman is an extremely strong woman, and I know that she will overcome this. She can overcome anything, and I have hope, and I believe in her, and all of that. So for that, I feel the opposite way. I'm excited for her future and all of the amazing things that she's going to do. And also too, I'm wishing Marc Daly absolutely nothing but the best. Just remember this beautiful face right here, this adorable face right here. Yes, her. She comes first. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Don't go start bashing each other. Don't go start putting lies out there and throwing each other under the bus and giving in to what the media wants you to give into because, and giving to the lies. Don't do any of that. Just keep it respectful. And I'm wishing them the best. And you know what? I'm probably left some things out, so I might have a part 2 But I have to give you guys something. So let me release this for now, and then I'll come back if there's a part 2. Okay.
Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.